Fancy shirt, I know, but today we're not going to be talking about shirts on this channel. We're going to be talking about books. What's up there guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Titus AB, and today I'm going to be giving you 5 things that happen to your mind when you start reading books. So if you have been with me on the journey on this channel, we have talked about a whole lot of things, and basically my channel is all about experiencing the best of yourself intellectually, socially, and even just to build up as a person. So today we're going to be talking about books, reading, and what effect it has on the mind. We all know that from primary school, from secondary school, our teachers or our coursework has demanded that we read a book or two, be a novel, and some of us have found that as a very painful task to complete. But you know, that was not always the case for me, because I was a natural born lover of the read. I always loved to read, and that has caused me to experience a certain number of things which I'm going to be sharing with you on the video of today. So the first thing that happens to you when you start reading books is that you start living in great people's minds. Most books that we have today have been written by great people: Socrates, Aristotle. We have those written by Chinua Achebe. We have those written by great minds, people who have intellect built up in their head. And what happens is that when they start to write, they are passing down that intelligence from their minds or from their brains into a piece of paper. They're basically passing down their pattern of thought, the way they think and perceive the world, the way they see things. They are passing all of that information down to a piece of paper. So the first thing that happens when you start reading is that you start living in those people's minds. You start seeing things how they would have seen things. You start analyzing situations how they would have analyzed those situations, because you have spent so much time reading about how they will analyze those situations. And that's basically the power of solution. As human beings, the chances are higher that when we see somebody doing something, or when somebody suggests something to us, we are going to be prone to do it. That's what happens in so many situations. So when you read, you are being given suggestions from people with very great minds, people with high levels of intellect, people who have solved problems in the world and who have changed lives. So while reading, you are basically living in that person's mind, and it causes you to start to think like that person. It causes you to start to relate with other people like maybe that person would have done, and in a way that really changes your life completely. So the second thing that happens when you start reading is that you start becoming intelligent. That's literally, you start becoming intelligent literally. So what happens when you're reading is that your brain, various parts of your brain are working together at the same time. You're not moving from the physical space that you're seated at, but so many parts of your brain are working at the same time. The neurons that are present in your brain are interchanging signals or neurochemicals at a very high speed, and that high speed of interchange of signals causing you to look at symbols on a piece of paper, abstract symbols so to say, which really do not mean anything, and your brain is processing that symbol into useful information that you understand as a sentence, where you're able to make meaning out of that, causes you to be more intelligent. That is as plain as I can put it. You really become more intelligent while you're reading. So reading causes your brain, as I've said, to be open, causes your brain to work faster, causes your brain to explore those parts of itself that it has never explored before. So that's the second thing that happens to you when you start reading. You become literally more intelligent. The third thing that happens to you when you start reading is that you become more emotionally intelligent. Now basically, emotional intelligence is the ability to understand yours and other people's emotions and adequately react to those emotions in a way that will suit your being and another person's being. So in simple terms, it means just relating with people on the basis of emotions. So emotional intelligence is something very important in the 21st century, and it is something that cannot be overlooked, because in fact life basically is built upon emotional intelligence. Now when you're reading a book, for example a novel, you get to analyze the situations, you get to see whose emotions are coming out and how they are coming out, and dramatizing and analyzing the situation in the piece of paper that you're reading, or whatever kind of content that you consume, is causing you to become more emotionally intelligent. You begin to know, okay, this is what this person would have done in order to solve this problem, or in order to fix this situation, in order to amend this particular predicament. This is what this person would have done to solve this particular problem, and that causes you to be able to physically or in your own life apply those similar solutions, because you have gained the skill of emotional intelligence. In the corporate world today, emotional intelligence is something that is very necessary, because working in a big industry or in a big corporation might require, it does of course require, that you should be able to understand your own emotions and other people's emotions and integrate that together to form productive results. Because the only thing that makes humans a lot different from other creatures is emotions. We have emotions and we know how to manage the emotions. That is just what makes us different from other creatures. So when you understand emotions, when you read books, you become more emotionally intelligent. When you become more emotionally intelligent, you're better able to handle emotions. Now the fourth thing that happens when you start reading books is it improves your concentration. So many people complain that they cannot read books because when they sit and then they start going through those words, it's like they're being carried to another place and they just don't know what happens. They lost focus and they lost track. And that is very true. It happened to me also when I just started reading. What happens is reading tests your concentration. Being able to focus on a changing pattern of events very precisely for long periods of time is very, very, very important. And while you're reading, basically trains your mind to remember all of that. Now take for instance, you're reading a story. If you're not able to focus on the changing sequence of events in that story, on the last sentence of that story, you're going to just be as blank as you were on the first. But when you keep reading and you keep practicing, what happens is it trains your mind to be able to keep focused, to be able not to lose attention, to be able to keep following a series, a very maybe faint series of events that are happening. And when you learn how to follow a faint series of events that are happening, you learn concentration. That's basically what reading does to you. And concentration is very important, especially in the 21st century like this one, where information is everywhere, resources are everywhere, tools are everywhere, gadgets are everywhere, phones are everywhere. When everything is everywhere, being able to concentrate on a particular thing and take it to the end is very, very necessary, which is why I'm going to tell you why at the end of this video. So stick around. Now the most important point that I've been saving for the number 5th point is that when you read, you become better at life itself. Now all these points that I've enumerated are obviously very awesome things. Being able to understand emotion, being able to focus more, being able to live in a great person's mind, being able to becoming more intelligent, literally more intelligent. These are all things that happen to you or benefits when you start reading books. And when all this happens, you discover that you become better at life itself. And we all as humans, we want our lives to become better. Let me wrap this up. If there is one thing that I'll encourage you to start doing from today, is to start reading books. At the beginning of this year, I talked about my resolution to start reading books, and so far I've been taking that through, and I hope that I keep doing that for as long as I can, maybe as long as I live. I'm going to recommend you a read list which I've been reading. I'm going to keep a link to it in the description below, where you can probably find the resources there. The link is going to be in the description below. You can click and find that part. I'm also going to link the video that I made about the New Year's resolutions and including the resolution to start reading. I'm going to put that video here so you can click on it and go ahead and watch. So thank you for making it to the end of this video. This was a very long video for some people. It was very short to film, and reading is very important. So put that phone down, put the computer off, pick up a book and start reading. Have a nice day.